Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we will implement enhanced conversions for leads for Google Ads. I won't go into details what enhanced conversions for leads is, but I will put a link into the descriptions so you can read about it a bit more. This video is purely about the setup. To be able to do this setup, you will need access to your Google Ads account, to your Google Tag Manager account, and ideally to your CRM system, but that's not necessary to be able to follow the steps I will show you today in this video. But for now, let's get into it and start the setup. First of all, we will go to our Google Ads account where you want to implement the enhanced conversions for leads. Then go to Tools and Settings up here, Conversions, and click on the blue button, New Conversion Action. We will choose the option Import, and from here you will select other data sources or CRMs, and then track conversions from clicks. Click on Continue, and then there are two categories. This depends which one you want to use on your strategy, but for now let's just go with converted lead. And then conversion name, let's just enter enhanced conversion imported, but you can name it how you want it. For now I don't assign value to it, but you can do that if you want. And then 1. Click through conversion window. Ideally I would recommend leaving this on 90 days, because if you are working with offline conversions you want as a long date range as possible, and 90 days is the maximum. Attribution, I would recommend leaving it on data driven. Create and continue. Now for the import offline conversion option, we will select manual uploads, because I will show you the way how you can do this with a free manual upload, but obviously you can connect this with HubSpot or Zapier or any other tool. And then just click on finish. An important step before we go further is to click on settings and check if enhanced conversions for leads is turned on. If it's turned on, then you need to select the option Google Tag Manager, because we will use Google Tag Manager to implement this. As you can see, for me this is already done. And now we can go to the Google Tag Manager account to start the setup itself. First of all, when we are in the Tag Manager account, we will open the website where you want to implement or where you want to measure the contact form. So I will take as an example my own website, and I want to implement enhanced to capture the email address when someone fills in the form on my website. You need to go to the website where you want to implement this, and basically you have to go for the form which you want to track and where you want to capture the email, and then click on the email field, and then right click and then click inspect, and then it will highlight for you in the inspect field. You will open the Google developer tools, and here it will be highlighted that field which you just selected. Click again with right click, go to copy, and then copy selector. Now if we check what we copied, you will see this strange ID. That's basically the ID, the CSS selector for this field. This is important because this is how we will build up our Tag Manager variable. Now we can go back to the Google Tag Manager account, click on variables, click on new, click on this middle section, and then go for DOM element, CSS selector, copy the selector we just paste here the selector we just copied, and then attribute name I would suggest to enter here value, and then you just name it CSS selector and then email, and then just save it. Now we have our variable ready, so now we can capture the email addresses that the users will input on this field. Now we can go further and we can create our main tag. So go back to tags, click on new, click on tag configuration, and you can type in the search bar user, and you will need the Google Ads user provided data event. Now it's asking for your conversion ID. You can really quickly find it in your Google Ads account if you go to Tools and Settings, Google Tag. And then basically if you click on this, this is your Google conversion ID without the AV and the line. You just only need the number. Then you can go back, paste the number over here. And now you can see here the user provided data. We need to create a second variable. So new variable, user provided data, manual configuration, and email, because we want to capture the email. And we will add here the variable we just created, the CSS selector email. And then you can just name it user provided data, for example. And then save it. Now we have our setup almost ready. We just need to create a trigger for this tag. And that's one of the most important steps, obviously. I will save this as Google user provided data. I will save it now without a tag, without a trigger, sorry. And then now we'll go to find out the trigger. So in your Google Tag Manager account, go to Preview, enter the website, obviously the website URL, and then just go to the form and basically make a sample request. So I will just enter test and test and test, and then I just write here test, then I submit the form. And now I will go back to this debug window, and as you can see, in my situation, I have a data layer event here that's number 20. It's called lead. This will be different in your case because every website is different, every backend is different. But to give you a hint, you need a data layer event that triggers on the moment when the form is sent. So in my situation, when someone clicks on the submit button, then the form is sent, and then this data layer event will be pushed to the to Tag Manager, and that will enable Tag Manager to read out that email field we just used. And this is really important to find the correct trigger. So in my situation, it's going to be this one. And yeah, you have to find your right trigger. I can't really have much more because, like I said, every website is different. Now I just go back to the tag we created. I will go to the triggers. I already created the trigger, so I will just add to it. But basically it's lead because you need the name of the trigger. Put lead over here, and then you just name it how you want it. And now with this, basically the main setup is ready. I can just save the tag, make sure that I open the preview window again, so I can test my setup. Now all that's left is to make another test form, and if we did everything correctly, now we should have, if you go to the correct data layer event, as you can see, the Google user provided data tag it fired, and if we click on the tag details, we can see that right now we are sending this email address to Google. And basically with this, the main part of the setup is ready. When you test this and you will see here, let's say nothing, then I would suggest to check your variable for troubleshooting. Probably the CSS selector is not the correct one, or the second thing that can go wrong, you selected the wrong data layer event as a trigger. So those are the most crucial parts. You have to use the correct CSS selector, and you also have to select the correct trigger when you want to fire the Google user provided data tag. But as you can see, this setup in my situation is ready. It will capture all email addresses that will be entered to this field, and it will push it to Google. The second part of the enhanced conversions for lead setup is basically uploading your data back to Google, so Google can match the two emails. So right now Google will capture all the email addresses here. We will send it to Google in a hashed way, obviously, and then when the conversions happen on your website, you collect all the email addresses in your CRM system. From time to time you want to upload that list back to your Google Ads account, and then Google will match all the email addresses that has been captured in this form and what you have in your CRM system. I will show you now how you can prepare your spreadsheet for the upload, how you can hash your email addresses, and then basically make a sample upload for you. So if you go to your Google Ads account, then you go again to Tools and Settings, Conversions, Uploads. Then you can create a new upload. You can use the template that Google is providing for you. So you will need the conversions from clicks, enhanced conversions for leads, and Google Sheets. Then Google will transport you to their support page, and you will have here a link. Make a copy of this spreadsheet template. Just click on that, make a copy. You can delete the first line, that's not really important. Then you will need the time zone. For me, that's gonna be the European time zone. Under the email, you need to enter the email address from your CRM system, and you have to hash the email addresses. Phone number you can delete because we don't capture the phone numbers in my setup. The conversion name, that's the name of the conversion action we just created, and the conversion time is basically when the lead was registered in your CRM system. Conversion value and conversion currency you can also fill in if you capture those values, but in this setup we don't capture the value of the conversions. I totally recommend doing it. So for just showing you, I use basically this spreadsheet to hashing the emails. I will also put all the links to the description, so don't worry. So let's say, just for an example, test@test.com, and if you input, you have this input sheet. If you write an email address here, or if you copy all the email addresses from your CRM to this spreadsheet, you have a second sheet in this spreadsheet, the hashed email, and that will create a hash format from your email addresses. Really handy. Then you can just go back. You can put the hashed email address under the email column. The conversion name, it's basically in our account. I don't remember what was the name. Oh, yeah. So you will need this name. Like this, and then the conversion time. It's also, Google has requirements how the time has to be formatted, and they mentioned that in their support page, but basically it can be this or any other format that it's allowed. And then you just enter the time when the lead was registered in your CRM system, and after that all is left is you need to upload the conversion actions. So if you go to the uploads, you click on the plus, select source, Google Sheets, link to the existing sheet. You need to enter to give access for this email address from Google. So if you go back to your spreadsheet, click on share, copy that email address and send. So basically you need to give access to this automated email from Google so they can read out the content of your spreadsheet. Now that it's also ready, we can go to preview. Always preview before you upload so you can make sure that everything is correct. Obviously I will get an error message here because that email address is not in my CRM and the time which I used it's incorrect, but basically this is the whole process you have to do during upload. As you can see, this can't be found and I have an error message, which is logical, but this is what you have to do. If there are no errors, you can just click on apply, and then the offline conversions will be uploaded to your system. And basically you have an up and running enhanced conversions for lead system with uploaded conversions, and you can use the real leads, no spam leads, in your Google Ads account. And basically, yeah, that's for the tutorial. I hope you liked it, and feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. Take care. Bye bye.